The state of Florida is suffering from one crisis after another. Residents of the Sunshine State are paying the price. The state's now facing a massive homeowners insurance crisis as top insurers are leaving the state over fears of climate change. Okay, I know an awful lot about the insurance industry. I've been going toe-to-toe with the insurance industry my entire career, whether it's massive corporate global insurance, whatever it is. This is really more about interest rates. When you see, what an insurance company does is they say, we have projected this much in loss, okay? So they take that money and they invest that money. It's a set aside. They don't pay taxes on it, okay? It's just money that's set aside. And they make all their money because of the way the stock market allows them to make it on that little cache of money. When interest rates are high, they're not making it. So they're coming up with all kinds of problems about why we have to increase insurance rates. But the point to what we're talking about here, leadership in Florida is not tough enough to say, bullshit, we know what you're doing. This has very little to do with climate change. This has to do with the fact that your investment portfolio is not doing well because insurance rates are up. I mean, because the interest rates are up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is, of course, something that's not mentioned in any of this stuff that you see about these stories. So we do have two crises, really, with the insurance companies. The first one is the companies who say, we're done, we're leaving Florida. Farmers Insurance was the most recent to do that. So a lack of available alternatives is hurting Florida consumers, and that's not much that any of us can do anything about. So when you have that lack of supply, suddenly those few that are left can do exactly that. They can say, okay, I know your insurance rate last year was $1,200 a year. Now it's $4,800 a year. And we can do that to recoup our losses from the stock market, and we can do it because we can. Because who else are you going to go to? Everybody left.
And your position is, as mine. There's no leadership in this state.
Right.
There's nobody that's going to stand up to the insurance company. Look what happened to consumers the last legislative cycle. There was no leadership by DeSantis, no leadership in Tallahassee. Consumers got cremated on things like auto crash. You're killed in an auto crash. Your case now is worth about 25% of what it used to be. The value of your life is diminished to where it's almost unspeakable the way that they handled that. But they did it all for the insurance industry. They made it difficult for you to even sue your insurance company when the insurance company does wrong. That was the kind of legislation that came out of Tallahassee under the leadership of DeSantis. So if we believe that this is going to change because we have great leaders here, we're in la-la land. Right now, I think the average in Florida, I think the average is over $4,000 for home insurance. And it's almost 3 times what the national average is, if my memory's right. Is that right?
It is, and we have struggling residents here that are now saying, listen, I'm hitting a point where if this happens one more time, one more increase, I'm priced out of this state. I'm priced out of my hometown. I'm priced out of all of this. I will have to leave. Well, now, I don't think we're looking at anything, tens of thousands of people leave, but every individual person, contributes here. These are local people. They go out, they go to local restaurants, they buy local, they contribute to these economies. We lose 5 or 6 here and there. That does hurt. And that hurts these people. They shouldn't be in this situation because of the insurance companies.
Look what's happening in California. Have you followed that story?
Yeah.
They're losing billions in tax base because there's a mass exodus from the place. The crime issue's problem, the housing issue's the problem, the cost just to live there is a problem, the tax issue's a problem, the fire issue's a problem. Their tax base is disappearing. Newsom is actually panicking over it. He's trying to figure out a way to keep people there. It's like, we're going to keep you prisoner here whether you like it or not. But you're right, that same thing could happen to Florida if somebody doesn't step up and show some leadership, and this is a perfect story. Tell the insurance company, hell no, what you're saying is nonsense. We know why you're losing money, because interest rates are high right now.
Well, it's leadership that we're lacking on really any of the issues facing Florida. I actually did a segment recently just talking about the laundry list of crises that we've got. We've got leprosy spreading around the state. We've got malaria. We have the water temperatures off of the Keys to the point where we've got coral bleaching, which is going to kill the reefs, kill the islands, kill the tourism. We've got the insurance crisis. We've got the immigrant crisis where everybody's leaving and construction sites are barren because there's no workers. Not once have we had any of these crises addressed.
Yeah.
All we hear occasionally is DeSantis say, I'm going to stick it to Disney one more time. Even his own Republicans are now saying, shut up about Disney because our constituents are yelling at us because we've got real problems here, and Tallahassee is silent. You're off in Iowa making weird faces.
I have a prediction, though, and you might not like the prediction. The prediction right now is DeSantis is having a hard time get his legs under him, but he's got a lot of time. I think the prosecutions of Trump, you can say what you want to say. It's inevitably going to interfere with his ability to be president of the United States, to even run for president. DeSantis, I think, is a real possibility. I mean, I think that's what's developing. His numbers, the press, his numbers are depleting. Trump talks about his numbers are depleting. He's finding his equilibrium. That's my prediction. And he'll continue to find his equilibrium. And the difficulty is we know, because he's been our governor now for so long, what he's capable of. And it's not a pretty story. But this guy could certainly be the next president of the United States, regardless of what the media is saying, like he can't find his footing, he can't get money in. All that is passing. I think it's transient issue. He's got plenty of time to recover.